P790's versus Qi Irons. Two giants of the Taylormade lineup. One of them is especially a giant, and that's the Qi Iron. I've got the Kingdom set here, slightly larger sole on it, slightly thicker top line. This thing's a beast, it comes out with speed. Then there is the absolute all-star. If I had my own gold list, should we call that what? The trot list? This thing would be getting an absolute gold plus rating. I might even come up with something different for it. It covers a wide range of players, but some of you out there might be thinking, am I this player or am I this player? This video is going to break down what you should look for on a launch monitor. Don't panic. I don't go too deep on it, but there is a couple of numbers that you do need to pay attention to, or you need your fitter to pay attention to if you're going to go down the route of these irons. It's a player's distance category with a bit of full fat cream on top when it comes to this one. This is a beast. This is a good video because I know how popular this iron is, and I wholeheartedly agree that it should be. It deserves all the praise it gets. If you're thinking of getting a set of these, then watch this video. If you're thinking of getting a set of these, but you might be this guy, watch the video, it's all in here. And of course, subscribe for some more content on some killer golf clubs that could help your game. The 790 versus the Qi Iron. Two absolute giants, especially one of them. I mean, I see so many P790's in the bag of so many players, and quite rightly so. And often on the channel, I'll talk about, listen, if you're a P790 player, then you've got to be more aspirational, and the P770 could be for you. But what about if we look the other way? What about if you're a Qi player and you want to get into P790's, or maybe the P790's, dare I say it, are not working for you, which is so, you don't hear that, but what about if that scenario's there? Within this video, there's a few things that I talk about when it comes to a launch monitor, and I'm conscious that if you're buying these irons, you might not fully know the definition of it. So let's just start with something you have to know, and that's spin. Spin is actually the backspin we apply to the golf ball. Different golf balls can impact spin. The delivery of the club for you, the player, can impact spin, and the head type. Obviously, the loft on the club also is massively going to play a role in that. Now, just for a moment, put yourself in the desert. The fairways and the greens are firm. You need spin to hold that green. What do you mean hold the green? When it lands, the distance from the land point to where it finishes will be impacted by spin. That also requires an apex height. That's going to come from spin. Launch is going to be impacted a little bit by spin, also by you, the player. So as I go through the video and tell you about the preferences of a good player, also think about your own numbers and what spin can do for you. Having low spin isn't a problem, but just remember, when you get on a firm golf course, that thing is going to land and it's going to keep going. So then you have to factor that in. I'm a huge fan of data, and this is where knowing it really helps you quickly move up the ladder of getting better at golf. And if we get better at golf, we have more fun. These irons are a lot of fun, but spin, you need to just understand where it comes into play. So here's the thing, I always hit both of these model of irons really well anytime I bring them on the channel, especially the Qi long iron. I know there was a photo shoot with Dustin Johnson when he first hit it, and that thing was just going forever, and he was contemplating playing that golf club because it can work. It's got the larger sole, it's extremely powerful. You'll see me hit golf shots here now with this P790, and they are legit. We could look at some numbers. In fact, let's do it. Keep that in mind. This is a 9 iron. Just going to bang it out there. Usually easy to hit, no worries. Great flight, great sound. Then you look at your numbers that come off on this. They're just popping up now on the kit. The first one that's a concern is 8,500 off a 9 iron. Those of you that are loyalists to this channel know that I tend to spin my irons quite high. What's the number? Where do you need it? For the iron that I play, I want the bottom number on the club to be the spin rate. But for most golfers looking at these irons, the spin will not get there unless you add spin as a player, because you back up and force the dynamic loft onto the blade, which generally is the type of player that's going to get into these irons. One thing I want to emphasize in this video, I fit golf clubs for the best players in the world, have done for 2 decades. However, there has to be an element when it comes to the choice and it comes to your fitter that you have to be having the conversation as a player. So the reason I highlight that spin rate number is because for me, whenever I get on the range and hit these ball after ball after ball, I do like them. I quite like the way they go through the turf. I quite like the feel. I like the flight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The gapping is in control. The spin is in the same region. However, as a player, which is our final thing that we take when we look at these irons, for me, they just don't quite spin enough. And I get the odd iron that goes a little far, that maybe doesn't control the way I want it. If there's a back pin and I want to be aggressive to it because I'm playing well on that given day, these irons for me just don't have that control. The Qi iron is an extremely low spinning iron, which is how you get the distance out of it. If you need distance, this is going to be your club for sure. However, you're going to get to a point where you're like, look, I'm not holding many greens. That could be the turning point to look at the P790. You're going to be getting to a point where you might be thinking, why can't I get close to any front flags? If I'm playing a golf course with Kikuya, why does my ball hold up on the front and I can't carry it all the way there? Because sometimes more spin can give you more carry, or a lot of the time it can, that will then get you to the front edge. If you're asking yourself all of these questions, and it's not just about hammering it as far as I can hit it, or not just about having the easiest club to play, then the P790 might be starting to come into your realm. You're not going to be disappointed if you get there, because this packs in so much tech behind it, underneath it, around it, but it still looks like that player's distance iron. It's just going to give you a different spin number to what you get out of the Qi iron. But this is also, and maybe it's another video, why you then need to play consistently the same golf ball, because you're now diving in on some great questions on your golfing journey as to when do I switch from this beast to this absolute beast of an iron. Two models, not entirely the same, can offer two different things. Spin rate's going to be very different. You don't need to totally understand it from a technical point of view in the launch monitor, but you do from a visual and how your ball's going to react, because that'll help you on your golfing journey. If you're someone who needs the alignment aid by the white line on the leading edge, because, and we're going to use this tool we used a few weeks ago, I'm still using this thing, it's freaking awesome, where you put your grip trainer on. If you're reliant on this every week, and Scotty Scheffler uses one of these, now you can get it perfectly aligned to that white line leading edge. Any lie is going to be easy with these. Maybe you lose the ball to the right for the right-hander. They're a little bit upright. Shafts are usually a bit softer. Even a little nudge goes straight. I mean, that was a miss strike, and it still comes off like a rocket. It still comes off penetrating. If you're someone who wants an easy strike through the turf, wants to lose that golf shot to the right, and just wants that hit and feel of going forward, because the spin rate will be really low on this, and that's why spin rate's been brought up. That one there came out at just over 4,000. So for a gut, and then in turn, it gives you a ton of yardage. It's a powerhouse of a golf club, but it's not for the player that is wanting to get, where's the pin? Oh, the pin's on the back. Right, okay. Where's the pin? Tucked in a position. I'm going to start thinking that way. What is the layup to a certain number? Oh, I've played good irons in the past. I like the traditional look. If that's where you're at, the P790 covers so much ground. It is literally the Labrador of irons. I mean, everyone likes this thing. It's friendly, it's easy to hit, it's going to work well in a set. The range of player that it's aimed at is so big that I think if you're looking at a Qi iron, you've got to be more entry level, more beginner. You've got to need power. This thing's going to give you power. You've got to just be about, well, can I advance it near the green? Whereas this one is, I'm going to hit the green. Where do I kind of want to think about missing it? Or I'm having my lessons and I want to start talking about getting rid of certain shapes. I'm starting to understand my data through my set, whatever, however I capture data, the irons have a gapping yardage. I'm starting to understand that I need players' wedges in to complement this. The Mill Grind 5 needs to sit in with this with a gap wedge. I'm starting to understand that it's forgiving. I just don't play 3 times a week, but I love the game. This one is more your once a month character that wants to be great, but needs help. You might play the 6,500-yard members golf course, and some of those par threes, they feel a little unobtainable for distance. But when you put this one down, if you've got a history as playing, I mean, I could play this iron. Whereas the other one, I think, is questionable. But this behind the ball looks like a golf club. Plays like a golf club as well, to be fair. Let's put it this way, if you went out and had a set of P790's at any standard, because this was the rental set that they had on site, A, you're playing at a nice location, and B, I understand why everyone plays them. QI, more specialist, P790, way more rounded. The 4-iron, the 5-iron, they're an option for you. You don't have to dive into a hybrid. Yeah, don't get me wrong, the 4 and the 5-iron, they're an option for you in the QI iron, but you're not even in the ballpark of you need a hybrid. Whereas the player that's going for this might want to choose that 4-iron over that hybrid. I just think that they've done such a good job with this iron at TaylorMade that it's very hard to say any negatives about it. I just think a lot of players go to it because it's such a comfort blanket when they should maybe be comboing with a P770 or be in a P770 set. You will know when your time is up with these. They feel a bit quicker off the blade. They feel a bit more cumbersome through the turf would be the word to make, because once you're a good iron player and you're having turf interaction, I mean, this was earlier with some 9-irons and some wedges. This was with some short irons getting into the 6 and the 7 at the back here. But once you're having turf interaction and experiencing it, the sole of the P790 is going to be much more friendly for you. If you've got any questions left that remain on this, get down in the comments, but fit them as a player. You know what you like, you know where you're at. Always be honest with yourself. Get a fitting, look at the spin number and look at the launch as well. And if you do have a loft and lie machine around you, understand based on the lofts on the blade why you're getting those spin rates, because dynamic loft is what hits the ball, that impacts the spin rate. And ultimately, when we get into players distance irons, which that's the wheelhouse we're in here, that is 100% what impacts how quickly the ball comes off the blade and the spin and the launch you get. And those numbers are so important that we understand them, because that's what gives you the yardages. Your irons make up a big, crucial part of your bag. Get it right, put the time in to get fit for this. If you go P790, it's a very safe bet for me to say that you're in a damn good place, because they're an awesome, awesome iron. QIs are great, but these bad boys just cover such a wide range of player, and there's a good chance that that's you watching this.